Hi everyone, it's Evelyn from Twin Flames 3344. I have a Divine Masculine Twin Flame read in front of you. I just want to go over a little bit of the energies from yesterday since I didn't post. So just bear with me. I'm just going to touch base on a few things and then we'll get right into the read. It is March 6th today, 2020. And that would be the 13 day. Okay, so we have the 6 of the Lovers and the 13 of Great Transformation. So the Lovers and transformation, big transformation. So going into the energies from yesterday, it was the Hierophant and the Hangman yesterday. So hanging out and committing to yourself, hopefully. Some of the energies that came up yesterday from the coding lines, Eden was coming up, Eden World, and Twin Bridges was coming up not only yesterday but today as well. Eden World with 2 bridges or gateways, the I of the I Am Presence and the 8 of the dance between the masculine and feminine coming up simultaneously, like the explosion, implosion happening simultaneously, same kind of idea. And actually was coming up as the infinity symbol, and the 8, if you merge them together, was coming up as the 4-leaf clover. So coming up as having luck, the I Am Presence together with the 8. So the infinity and the 8. Also, E10 was coming up, E-10 like I-10, the highway, but E10 as the Ascension bridge to the I Am Presence and to the 8. Also, E-tennis was coming up, and the number 28. The connection of the tennis, maybe like the back and forth of the ball is kind of like the figure 8 and figure 8 skating. And 28 of the Twin Bridges and the Twin Flames, the love, partnership, and the surrender. The E10, lots of E10 things were coming up. The pill, which is oxymorphone. It was kind of, and E10 is also a fuel. It was coming up to the masculine, because this was a masculine read, that the feminine is your pain reliever, your fuel, your inspiration, and your pain relief. That your divine feminine is a natural painkiller. Let's see, also Kwa was coming up, so it was taking me to the Kwan from Jerry Maguire, if you guys remember that. Give me the Kwan, I want the Kwan. So that was coming up, and the E10 was also coming up as a label with protective shield, as well as a European route E10, which goes from Norway to Sweden. It's an E is an international road network. And that road going from Norway to Sweden, in Norway, it's also called King Olav V's road. And for me, V is creation. So that was very cool. And the mileage on it was 880 kilometers and 550 miles. So how cool is that? So that route in Europe was coming up, as well as the Dutch giant came up. He's 7'2", and it was how he gained 70 kilograms in 8 years. He was the tallest bodybuilder. Also, the 10 Commandments came up from Exodus 20, 2 to 17, and Deuteronomy 5, 6 to 21. So a lot about the Twin Bridges was coming up. Also, a lost Edelweiss project that was never completed, and that was at Twin Bridges in California, which is near Tahoe. So the Twin Bridges in Madison County, Montana came up, as well as Twin Bridges, California on US 50. It's near Echo Lake, and it's between Sacramento and Tahoe. Also, the Twin Bridges in Albany, New York, Albany County, which they refer to as the Twins, and also the beautiful Twin Bridges in Shanghai, China, really cool. They're very avant-garde. It was interesting because it said CA design, so there's another reference to California here as well. And then the I-10 Twin Bridges in New Orleans to Slidell, which are parallel trestle bridges. So let's see what else I want to tell you. There's just some excerpts from the reads yesterday I wanted to just put out there really quick. So this was under a Divine Masculine read yesterday. Desolate by Twin Bridges at the Y in the road, feeling the sadness of the inability to see the love in the 2 of Cups that were left over. Because leftovers is another wound. Because leftovers are what poor people eat. Been left because others don't want them. There's not much growth by the creek, right? Because the creek is stagnant. The path of the cat took last week across the creek bridge to the house on the other side. The Queen of Swords expresses heart health and compassion and natural red root or solid brick or brick foundation and fireplace, that it's real, it's not facade. White, the Hermit and the Queen of Swords without peace because of stagnant water, and a house on display of the Emperor or Aries reflecting the Chariot or Cancer, stuck without peace or a peaceful place to go, like the roller on a tape dispenser, fixed so that everything around them can flow smoothly. Emergency runs, calls at night, snakeskin boots, or feet need to be wrapped in bondage tight. With multiple ER visits, no peaceful place to go. Broke down, up or through, cancel to move or travel, and dealing with cancer on a warpath perhaps. All right, so that was just some excerpts from yesterday, as well as the empty victory keeps coming up. The sword versus the pen versus the laser, one with a pop top and healing hands. A close-up of the final sword used to win, and is there blood on it, or is it clean with links attached? The blue ribbon and onyx, black and gold, matching the Divine Feminine's bracelet her dad bought her home from a business trip from the Orient, or the Oriental Express coming up here, and James Bond adventures. The masculine stinger broken, so fights to the death. And then What's Love Got to Do With It came up with Tina Turner, and Only My Truth Counts. Failure to launch also came up, and a need to let go of the need to win at all costs. When there is no love waiting at the top, love puts second to the truth as opposed to first always, right? Love is always first. So that was also coming up. All right, then the Divine Masculine, afraid to be responsible for somebody else's relative. So more financial responsibilities, they're afraid of that, not knowing what they're getting themselves into, not wanting to get trapped again, or is trapped with a mother-in-law or another relative or a friend of their partner's, or his own mother with issues, and all always falling on his shoulders, the good son. Or trapped in an all-business relationship with evil Empress reversed, controlling the group, working with attention and success, good news leading the way into a downturn or slowdown and twist of fate, with the sovereign refusing to stay quiet or be muzzled by no promises of physical reunion. The Queen of Cups trying to refuse his advances in the 5D, since he's all about money, and cold without emotion to her in the 3D, keeping her loving in the 5D and yet pushing her away from reality. She knows his truth, which is why it's difficult to detach. But why would you want to be with someone who treats you badly and no respect? Who talks to you like a mental patient, and he must protect his belongings from her, or his holdings from her, worried she'll act like his karmics and hold it against him and get revenge for hurting her, for rejecting himself. Okay, so again, a lot of ownership stuff here with things and money and finances and having to take care of relatives, so you know, that's a lot of stuff. Also, hemorrhoids and colonoscopy were coming up yesterday. And then every man's lover's fantasy, the man with two women, one people can see and one they can't, because it's all to himself, right? So that's the man's fantasy, to have this 5D lover that nobody knows about. And that the Divine Feminine can't detach from, right? So literally being taken advantage of on a regular basis, right? So there's the big wound there, right? So roses for the 3D girl, while calling the 5D love Fruit Loops or crazy or lying, feeling sorry for her. This, and thus doing all of that, the masculine doing all of that, whatever you do to the other, you're doing to yourself. So the masculine doing all that to himself, and same about the Divine Feminine. Surrendering naturally to the connection that you have no control over. The Hermit, Virgo, emotionally fulfilled post-war, coming clean, drained, in need of sunshine, in prison, and challenged by the world being turned around. The Wounded Warrior and the Higher Self, remember the Higher Self is each other, broken, and justice of the disconnect of Cancer reversed, deliberating a new life without peace. And then the Knight of Pentacles all of a sudden comes in and proposes suddenly. So what they propose, not sure about. So then we get into some Divine Feminine reads I was doing yesterday, just a few excerpts. So teasing to take the high road. Han, as Han Solo, comes up as the masculine all the time. Seeing the Queen of Swords, actually seeing her as his pain relief and the compassion that she gives him. And also acetylphen came up, which is just rectal acetaminophen. So again, the suppository for pain relief, the masking the pain, the problems, but also realizing that the feminine is his natural pain reliever. So toggling up to see and say the Sophia energy and taking the high road, the feminine energy, and Han then able to see the Queen of Swords for who she really is in masking his pain. So that was an important message. Also, I did have a purge yesterday, and my masculine was connecting with me a whole lot. Probably during that and going through afterwards as well. I was getting a lot of connection from my masculine yesterday. The Emperor reversed out of control. The Hermit reversed feeling like they're crazy and releasing self from anxiety and crying, in need of help, money, and opportunity. The Hermit reversed and the Page of Pentacles reversed child, released from prison, with dark energy streaming in, and the Page of Pentacles reversed, never learning their lesson. Moving, ending marriage, unstable, visiting a friend, no love, or just dumped, or in the dumps, feeling dumped, or crying, purging, peeing, vomiting, overwhelmed, just any kind of output going on. The harsh truth that he just doesn't care, rehabilitation, hospitalization, whips and chains, IV drugs, arrests, and the angry magician burning the candle at both ends, and the romantic tie with the twin present. Evil doctor, Dr. Evil, gets spanked after each treatment, ready to cut anyone who comes near. The dog hiding under the table has human feet hiding behind the red curtain, so here Russia's coming up again, and then cutting-edge surgical treatments. The Russian edge. Rope handler, and it's not rope, it's a snake. Scissors and untying knots, and one pin in the apple of the eye cushion. Matching reds and riding crop ready. Serving up something huge for lunch or white tablecloth dinner. Been working out, supercut, and definition. And then love comes up. This was under a feminine read. Also getting wish to heal and forgive, the King of Pentacles. Thanks their lucky stars and skedaddles out of there. Found a way out and keeping to self, caught in the spokes, and then spooks were coming up as well. A ghosting, dark moon, and looking at the stars and feeling the world within, sitting on a vanilla wafer. So somebody likes vanilla wafers out there as far as the masculines. And they're a Cancer reversed and Capricorn upright, and they're opposing signs as well. That dynamic was coming up at 441 yesterday. Also blind and pain, so someone may definitely be dealing with blindness. And also before eye transplant was coming up, so someone might actually be getting an eye transplant, perhaps from a relative who passed or is passing. Grieving in need of help, or a child who was coming together with romantic tie, twin flame. And an indigo proposed to sovereign to perform together on their journey, fending off others, but the devil's between them, and twins working hard on a new life of manifesting. The Speaker of the House came up, giving it to the man, and a breaking contract came up, as well as sex in the woods after a date with the devil after rejected by their partner. All right. Also from last night, this again is Divine Feminine read energy, a tad fool or drunk. The I Am Presence, or the Knight of Swords, the Messenger of Truth of the Divine Feminine, toggling up after death for an after-death test of words and thoughts, right? Testing you, can you maintain? Can you not get triggered by something? Toggling up, or a T perhaps, 4 Knights of Orbs, right? So thoughts and words, and the feminine adventure and love relationship. Also a Rod of Sticks and staff, cleaning things up in the yard for a date, to blend shakes. Somebody might be making shakes. They could be drinks as well, like mixing up drinks together, and explaining why it took so long. And again, empty victories were coming up here. So a tad 4 came up. A tad 4 and the Knight of Swords. But regarding to the Divine Feminine. And then the movie Change in the Air came up last night. And then no longer keeping quiet. The King of Swords with third party. Nightmare is over with the Nine of Swords reversed, and hugging the glass ceiling and refusing to move. So I've been getting a lot of that too, where I'm just seeing the pictures of someone like clinging to the ceiling and not wanting to let go. So really trying to get through to the twin one way or the other, but just pinned to the ceiling. No more black cat underfoot. Two bulls broken or split. Chains are broken. The red curtain nowhere to be found. Okay, which you know with bulls is an instigator. So refusing to wake, the King of Wands is present to the romantic tie. The King of Wands a fool to leave the divine lover to go back to the Queen of Wands. And now the King of Pentacles is offering love to their lover. And again, this is under a feminine read, not a divine masculine read. And crybaby was coming up too. I can definitely say I was a crybaby yesterday. And the feminine needs to clear blocks around grief and feeling like they have no options, but just to detox, to gain more clarity of union. Sudden jealous rage might also come up, and protecting oneself. All right, so now for the read in front of you, I just want to give you a little bit of clearing energy here. Okay, so again, like I said before, today, and this is a general read for the divine masculine twin flames, but it also can relate to the masculine within the feminines. It is a general read, so it's not going to apply to everybody. On some of my messages, this is an intuitive read. All right, I journal my intuition as well as my spontaneous intuition, and there's 7 decks here, so it's a lot of energy for a lot of people. So some messages will be very specific to a certain person or two, and then other messages will be very general for a lot of people. So today is March 6, 2020. The 6 again is the Lovers, and then the day adds up to the 13 of the Death card. Transition, change, end, total transformation. Going through the portals. So the SIRIAN Starseed deck was cut and dealt at 8:35 this morning. 8 is the Strength, 35 is the Wounded Warrior, the Nine of Wands, but also for me is the Mary Magdalene energy. And as I was doing the clarifying decks, the Jerry Maguire song, Secret Garden, kept just replaying over and over and over in my head, which of course, you know, is a beautiful song, always makes me want to tear up. But then the read was completed at 8:53 to 54, which is the 53 and 54 of the Knight of Swords and the Page of Swords. So a lot of communication. That's 5D communication, and just getting the word out. Can be children talking as well. The major arcana for this read were Strength, Reason, which is the Emperor, Ascension, which is the World, and Indigo, which is the Magician. Before the read, the Star and Shadow came up, and the Shadow is the Devil. And then we had 2 Pentacles, 3 Swords, 1 Wand, and 1 Cup. So mostly swords today, so a little bit in the head for the masculine, and definitely feeling it coming up. There's some nervous energy that was coming up yesterday and again today that the feminine needs to transmute. So whenever the negative energies come up from the masculine, you know, you want to look within and find out what your body needs to feel loved in order to transmute those energies on both sides, okay? So that's coming up again today. So do some meditation. And again, Secret Garden came up, the feminine secret world. And again, that's by Springsteen, by the way. I had my picture taken with Springsteen when I was in college. That was pretty cool. But it's a terrible picture of both of us, so I don't usually like to show it. Let's see, we have the King of Swords came up as the Court cards, as well as before the read, the Queen of Cups and the Nine of Wands, which is that Wounded Warrior, came up. Also in the read was the Nine of Cups, and then after the read, the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. As far as the code line and the numbers today, it's all about the happy ending and perseverance for the Divine Masculine here. And as far as numbers, we had double 6s, double 8s, and double 9s. The double 8s were most prevalent here, or most important. And also 2311, which is the King of Wands and Justice, as well as, let's see, 46, which is the Six of Cups, 68, which is the Page of Pentacles, and then 89, which is the reflection of the human body temperature. So it can be like the polarization of the human, which, you know, pulls you apart because you don't want your temperature to go down or up. You want it to stay balanced, right? At the right temperature. Then we have 9, 10, and begin again as well. The code line, happy ending and perseverance, added up to, there's 2 possibles here. One could be 7 and 96 equaling 103, or singly 22. And then another would be the 796 and the 88, which is the masculine and feminine, both balancing their own inner feminine and masculine and then standing side by side. So adding the 88 equals 119, or the reduced number is 3811. So the Fool and the Queen of Cups coming up here, and the 119. So the code line regarding happy ending and perseverance was very cool today. And again, the twin bridges came up again. First, I was getting to say Jesus 7 times, and I did. The feminine within the masculine, or the chariot, and the Sophia as the 9, the hermit, the collective consciousness, the wise one, the feminine energy, finding peace in the bridging of I to the bridging of I. Remember that we're each a gate holder. The masculine is the gate holder for the 3D, and the feminine is the gate holder for the 5D. So it was kind of referencing that, the bridge of I to the bridge of I, your I am presence each. And then AST was coming up, which is a liver test showing liver injury. So again, the liver and the kidneys are things that we as humans use to transmute energies, literally. So it's coming up about transmutation, as my phone keeps ringing. Sorry about that. That's my landline in the other room. So AST also references a surgical tech conference, which happens to be in Atlanta this year, and it's the 51st one, which is the King of Swords. And that's, if you're interested, is May 28th to the 30th at the Westin Peachtree. Again, that's the surgical technical conference, the 51st in Atlanta. Also, for the code line, the saints were coming up. The saint of the 7, the chariot, the feminine within the masculine. The saint of the ascension of the masculine and feminine together. The Sophia as the wise one, offering a peaceful place. And again, the peach tree was coming up a couple times here. A peaceful place in the bridge or the gate of the 5D and the bridge of the gate of the 3D to the masculine. But again, the saint, a saint to the saint. Also, Sex Anonymous comes up again, as well as the Hitler's group, the company that started up before the war. San Diego, which again is the Saint Diego, and then San Antonio, the Saint Antonio or Tony. And the sass of the 9, the sassiness of the collective consciousness, and the peace of the bridge, the 4D bridge between the masculine and feminine, and the liver test. So having to do with transmutation. The Saint 7 also comes up as a musical group, and ST7, a farmer's exemption certificate. So farming may come up here. The sweet or the sweet chariot comes up here again with the Saint chariot, the feminine within in the masculine, and the Sophia as the 9 or the hermit, finding peace in the twin bridges. And the code here, which was coming up EIGI, which the bridging usually is coded for me as EIG, but the I was coming up too. So EIGI literally means own, to own. So the twin bridges are like owning them, owning their positions, basically, as transmuters and as saints. Okay? So sweet chariot, calling you to carry me home. So sweet chariot Sophia as the hermit or wise one, as representative of the collective consciousness, finds and offers peace on the twin bridges. And also E, and then E with an accent. I forget which is grav and aigu. The accent going up towards the right. So E without an accent, and then another E with the accent. A concise dictionary of Old Icelandic, meaning to incite, to provoke, to goad, to egg on. And some research stuff was coming up. Viking stuff was coming up. Viking language 2, the Old Norse reader, and runic sources. And then the Janesville Gazette newspaper archives came up from Wisconsin, and that was December 5th, 80, page 21. And no matter how strong the wind blows, pink panda cutie, dash banana came up. Archives04own.org. So again, own came up. And then the EIGI, which literally means to own, from Wiktionary. I love Wiktionary because it gives you all the different language definitions. It also means not possession property. Okay, so not possession property. So the saint of the 7 and the sass of the 9, the lovers of thoughts and words, own a saint, a sweet, or a street. The chariot and the hermit, the Cancer and the Virgo, the lovers of the orbs, the thoughts and words, the humans, Mary Magdalene and Jesus, the twin bridges, own the street. They literally own the bridge, all right? So it's saying the masculine and feminine have taken ownership of the bridge in the liver test of transmutation because they are the transmuters for the general population. Sweet chariot, Sophia as the hermit of peace, and transmuting the 4D bridge to carry you home. So getting right into the read, we have the 7 of Pentacles, Divine Feminine's heart, starting off the read and the underlying energy here. And beneath that, we have, starting at the bottom, is the Queen of Cups reversed, the 9 of Wands, the Wounded Warrior upright, the Star reversed, and then the Shadow upright. Those are the 4 underlying cards underneath the underlying energy. The Divine Feminine's heart at the E-Tower, implementing a plan. Coming out after the Queen of Cups reversed, purging, and the Wounded Warrior, depression and shadow side. Awake and walking away, and within, the Lovers, Justice, Empress, and Chariot all in a row. So that could be Capricorn and Gemini, but the main players coming up here were Libra, Taurus, and Cancer. And the Divine Feminine, Divine Lovers, Judge, and Empress ascending, moving, or traveling. The Divine Feminine walking away from triangulation or square, and Pac-Man was coming up right here, as well as the Pac-Rat at 9:57, which is the Hermit and the 3 of Swords, that 3-way heartbreak and separation. So to disconnect, not seeing eye to eye or face to face, the High Priestess reversed or Viking Priestess reversed needs to use their intuition or their secret is out. Of the Knight of Pentacles reversed being stubborn and a stubborn block and jealousy or challenging older kids or 2 male suitors and somebody caught juggling. So this could be for the masculine's partner, could be caught having an affair. And at 10:01, I turned the page, which is the Wheel of Fortune and the Magician. Magician as the indigo child was very important today, and he was reversed. So that's, think about a child magician reversed and how scary that energy is, right? It's like in the movies when they have all these magical powers, when they're a child, they can't be trusted. Like the vampires, that would kill the children because you can't trust a vampire child, right? Because they have no boundaries. So caught juggling 2, and this could be someone's child as well who has abilities and not knowing how to control them, or it's the masculine's inner child acting up. So caught juggling 2, messed up, tripped up, and this could be a partner as well. It doesn't have to be the masculine. Caught juggling 2, messed up, tripped up, dropped the facade, or Scrooge let go, and the priestess being stubborn, immovable, and Scrooge is jealous and insincere, is not aroused by this, paying what little is left to get out of here. No more Flintstones or tap dancing around issues. The Knight of Cups is refusing to give or receive love and paying to patch things up. And then I was getting, and we all fall down, okay, like in the nursery rhyme. We all fall down, right? So one falls down, we all fall down. Scrooge, the whistleblower, the jealous one, or disconnect between parents and kids who are spending, or parents not seeing eye to eye about finances or how to spend on kids. Insincerity, unstable, and jealousy and screwing up, needing to break patterns, removing masks, and put all on the table to see what we're actually dealing with here. Too late to put the brakes on now, or someone's brakes went out, or knees or legs gave out. Not funny, or incontinence, or prostate issues, or kids sucking up to their mom, but only for money. And the mother realizing this now. The High Priestess reversed, Magician reversed, and Sovereign reversed all come up together here in a twist of fate, with the secret out about insecurities and manipulation, powerlessness, dependence, and financial drains. Insecure about being single or on their own again. And then the masculine got love yourself first, and beneath that was past life relationship. or actually past life relationship was on top, and love yourself first was first. So of course that's first. So expensive curtains or dresses. So if someone's broken up, they're like looking at their home and what they can sell, and looking at all this money they spend a lot of money on that they will never get back because it has no resale value. So expensive curtains and or dresses with no real resale value, flushing DNA down the toilet, his hard work, his sweat and tears, waterworks, water wheel, the park in Atlanta with shaman, going back in time, red roses, frame, removing old pictures, or framed in the War of the Roses. I never promised you a rose garden. The number 1 versus number 9, which is all about me versus all about others. Selfish versus compassion, in a downward spiral. In extremes of either is not good because it's polarization. And then the secret garden started playing in my head again, right here, which was a weird point for it to come up. But also when the secret garden came up, and this was at 10:21 to 22, and I'm getting connection right now, so it said this was important. I took a line from the movie, and I was being guided to write it a little bit differently. So at 10:21 to 22, with the secret garden, I was getting, after all, everything you've said might have been just a hypothetical. So it's like a similarity to what she said in the movie, but this was like the feminine talking to the masculine. After all, everything you've said to me might just have been a hypothetical, right? Because the masculine's always like talking to you from 5D or 3D, and you never know like who they are in what moment, right? Because they're always talking to you in things that weren't making sense, or like, why are you saying that when you just said this? Like there's always contradictions in what they would say. So he no longer wants to be single or feel alone. The 2 of Swords upright and the Ace of Wands reversed came up here with some other energies at 10:21 when that saying came up. In their knowing, keeping to self with frustration and the 3rd energy, and pushing the karmic partner out of their bed. The King of Swords with 3rd party looking in the window of the green room or being watched at work, and the Queen of Swords with her reflection but is sad and having trouble looking at it face to face. Both grieving in opposite sides of the coin, of no more sleazy sex partners or casual toxic or codependent sex, servicing others while hurting self. The truth cuts deep, even if only superficial bleed. That souls are exposed in the pin cushion, the candle, and the bell on the table. The Queen of Swords no longer a fan of her masculine mirror, always with 3 in the bed. Neither loving self, and thus not loving her or the other. Compassion comes up is 99, and below that was follow your dreams for the masculine. So show compassion and follow your dreams. And so like taking the 58 of the 4 of Swords, your connection in the 5D, and grounding it into the reality, whether that's 3D or 4D for you right now. At 10:31, which is the Wheel of Fortune, and the 31 is the 5 of Wands, the expansion energy, or conflict, competition, fights. At 32, which is then the journey, the 6 of Wands, the King of Cups reversed, with issues at work, financial, or not getting along, gossip and or third party interferences, dumping emotional attachments for a big love of self with their eye on the prize, the Holy Grail. The Knight of Swords rushing in with the truth, perhaps the knight in shining armor with a secret out. I was blind, but now I see. And then the Sea of Love came up. I want to tell you just how much I love you. Okay, so that was coming up from Sea of Love. And then powerless, financial, or practical drains and dependencies and disconnect from their inner truth. And then I was getting cross my fingers, hope to die, stick a needle in your eye. Cross keys and overindulgence of silks and gifts like Xmas I was getting every day. So like the karmic partner expecting to have Christmas every day. Cross keys and overindulgence of silks and gifts like Xmas every day. A big financial drain and no connection there. A breakup with dependence, partner, or implementing a plan to let go and fix things up while things are slow or in a downturn of the market. The Queen of Swords with compassion, and he can understand if she never wants to see him again. The recent past is the Emperor reversed, out of control, abuse of power, or just pissed off, or an ego death, feeling of failure under the radar, grieving, loss, regret, and not letting go of the past, sharing energetic exchange and expressing feelings, unstable home or moving, or ending a marriage, or just visiting a friend. The Queen of Cups reversed is purging and holding back a decision or announcement, or not calling, or not heeding the call. The Foundation is the Strength card upright, being strong in their knowing and keeping to self in a deception. Near death or taking forever to change or end. Bad memories, difficult kids, or the past returning, or a fire sign deceiving the Divine Masculine, or Scorpio fell off the wagon again, or kids are up to something. The center here is the Four of Swords upright. Rest, sleep, prayer, 5D meditation. The masculine being happy with himself and a message of love, on a quest but still suffering in silence, in exile of the devil's wave, or Capricorn. Left him behind, injured, wounded warrior, unable to escape the nightmare of the never-ending story, the dark night, and dead tired, challenged by no peace, no dolphins, no options, and insecure without their tools. The Ten of Cups, emotional fulfillment in 5D, holding their tongue in the aftermath of standing up for themselves. A bodyguard offers the truth. In the Battle of Normandy, seems like it's never over, with the Emperor reversed, dealing with lots of pain and rest. Impatience, fallen angels, devil, fallen angel giving the truth to the devil, or Capricorn, or just Aries reversed, Sagittarius reversed, and Capricorn impatient with each other, perhaps threatening a Capricorn, or covering so that the Capricorn can escape, but once they do, they don't want them back after that. Or a fallen angel and the devil offer the truth, which, right, why do you want to get a truth from a fallen angel and devil? Because you don't know if it's really the truth. So the fallen angel and devil offer the truth to the Six of Cups reversed, which can be difficult kids, or a bad past brought to light, or the past returning in order for you to clear at 1100, which is justice, truth, and balance, with a lot of source energy backing it up. The King of Wands reversed, grieving, and the Queen of Swords, or grieving the Queen of Swords, and the King of Cups reversed under the radar, frustrated with third energy and the truth being presented. A break through the crown. Now is the King of Swords upright, frustrated in marriage, religion, establishment, or Taurus, and or stubbornness, or stubborn kids, or on strike, getting his wish as the magician with the tools to make the magic, but unable to implement the plan and disconnect. Now the magician here in this read is reversed. So it's definitely in the immature manipulative energy here. Satisfied with self, but without peace, or stuck in their head about screwing up, about tripping up, about dropping a facade, or breaking patterns, and breaking dawn. Dropping two like hotcakes. No more juggling, no more looking at boobs or bodies all day long. The Emperor reversed, betrayal, fallen angels have fallen angels that are satisfied, or they're conceited in order to cover up their negative self-talk or their own body issues, or their immature words or potty mouths, superficial conversation, again, to cover up insecurities. The wounded warrior, third party, or negative associations, or associations with negative groups. Bad influences, gossipers, partiers, overindulgers, antisocial, or people just with no social life. There's no joy coming up here. No surprises with horny devil, and frustration living in the past, and bad memories. And when I was talking about the partiers and overindulgers, a bird started tweeting outside. Was the bird, I don't know what kind of bird it is, it goes woo woo, woo woo. So that came up around that time. All right, so that could be definitely, the girl watching saying woo woo, right? So whistling at girls. So again, any negative influences or negative groups, addictions, codependencies were coming up here. Just know everything that's associated with no real joy. It's no surprise here with the horny devil and frustrated living in the past, along with the bad memories and grounding and integrating love offers, along with boredom or apathy, taming his inner beast, with female fallen angel with attached or with an attitude, a drinker, a potion maker, or Sagittarius female with the white kiss hook, a drink to die for. So someone may be drugging someone else they live with even, or literally slowly poisoning them. So the King of Wands reversed, and this could be the person getting drugged. It's coming up as vengeance for 5D meditation with the Divine Feminine or the Messenger of Truth, and the world upside down, grieving the Divine Feminine in another world, jealous, insincere, or rejected, implementing a plan to invest in, but unable to find peace with the Queen of Swords in mourning or grieving, and no options, and standing up for herself. The King of Cups reversed with no leg to stand on, strong arm tactics and feeling of failure under the radar, with third energy and cutting through the crown, or circumcision is also coming up, or being dethroned or decrowned. So I was asking my cards, who is the Divine Masculine in this read? Initially what was coming up is that everyone's catering to the Emperor, the Knight of Cups, the King of Wands, and the Knight of Wands. The Queen of Swords speaking to the Queen of Cups, or they're the same person, and then the Queen of Wands speaking to the Queen of Pentacles, or they're the same person, or two aspects of each. Or they could be two workers and then two kids, or two lovers. The King of Cups partner, lover or Divine Feminine, King of Swords. The High Priestess, Hermit, and Sovereign came up together, as well as the Sealed Divine Feminine, the Six of Cups, twins or kids, and the King of Pentacles, never-ending story, with the Messenger of Truth. So when I asked again, the King of Cups came up. It was like when he's dealing with the feminine, he's the King of Cups, but otherwise he's the King of Swords. So soon as the Eight of Wands exchange, the Knight of Wands pushed a fool down and took off, or a hit and run. In the aftermath, defending self to prisoner. He didn't know what hit him. Learning about the gold coin, or learning how to manifest, dealing with a child, student, or intern, or he was being that, or an opportunity to see every angle of something, do research, while the Hermit was holding the light for them, or while the Hermit was holding light for their students, but not for him, while the King of Pentacles reversed is coming up here, like behind the Hermit, like thrown by the wayside at 11:30, or overlooked, So the Hermit bored, grounding and integrating an offer of love, but when presented the gold coin, the Knight of Wands became passionate again, or had an opportunity to learn from a master and jumped on it, discarding everyone in his way. He sees himself as ascension, or the world reversed, incomplete, fallen angel, dumping their burdens, responsibilities, perhaps confessing. There was a Leo reversed, Pisces reversed, and Sagittarius reversed on the masculine here. Synchronicities, options, and like a kid in a candy store, now sick or sick and tired, drained, overexposed, in need of sunshine, in need of connection, and the Sealed Divine Feminine in another world. So the candy store is coming up like, with all of his options, just like when you deal with candy, like a kid in a candy store. You stuff your face at Halloween and then you feel sick. So this is the same with the masculine. Anything he's overdone, he now feels really sick, right? And doesn't like it anymore. So it's like when you overdo it, then all of a sudden you just don't want to do it at all anymore. So that's what's coming up here. Again, the synchronicities, options, a kid in a candy store, now sick or sick and tired, drained, overexposed, in need of sunshine, in need of connection, and the Sealed Divine Feminine in another world. She completes him. All right, so that was again paralleling with Jerry Maguire. Playfulness comes up and give your relationship a chance. Deception and trust. Around him, or how he is seen, is the Nine of Cups upright, getting his wish, or someone else around him getting their wish. Depression, loss of hope, and sneakiness, and coming clean. And the Ten of Pentacles, family or business or legacy reversed, which comes up as dysfunctional family of the Queen of Pentacles, or the Queen of Pentacles losing money, or took a big hit. In separation, getting clean, or broken or heartbroken by cheater, liar, thief, and Aquarius energy there. The masculine needs to clear blocks of the Eight of Pentacles reversed, overwork, continuing when something's not working, or issues with not working, not sharing, debt, scams, inequity. The King of Pentacles reversed is all about money and teaching. But you don't see learning there, right? It's like that pride of not wanting to be the student again. So the King of Pentacles reversed is all about the money and the teaching, right? He needs to be the savior. So perseverance and happy ending, but even more so for the masculine today was teaching and learning. Persevering through energy stealing, cheating, stealing in general, scamming and deception, distracting one to take from them, is the magi, the magician, a master of deception. He controls what others can see, creates illusion for a living. He doesn't share his secrets. He has a closed door policy. It only seems to be an open door. The prisoner of the third party deception, the heartbreak, a great big jar of hearts. And then the word harp was coming up. So the definition of the harp was perfect here. Number one is an instrument with upright triangular frame, a triangular frame, right? So somebody being framed in a triangle, consisting of a pillar, so the pillar of the community, a curved neck, right? So a beautiful neck to look at, and a hollow back that wants to be touched. With it, along with a sounding board, right? Someone who will listen to you. Usually with 46 to 47, which is the 6 of Cups to the 7 of Cups, right? So the twin flame inner children to the heaven in their eyes, the synchronicities, strings attached of graded lengths, so grading the attachments and connections, and then played by plucking with fingers, one at a time. So, and the second definition is something such as a pair of vertical supports, so twin supports, right, on either end of the bridge, like a lampshade that resembles a harp. Or to harp on, right, to speak, utter, and express, being persistent or tedious, to harp on in a tedious manner. And it's also a bad word for someone who's Irish born. And some of the more vulgar definitions have to do with a mouth organ or licking sticks. And then the 8 of Swords and 3 of Swords were coming up together here at the end with the indigo reverse, which is like the magician reverse child. The indigo boy magician reversed who doesn't know his own strength and is misguided, rescinding his offer or proposal, looking back or going back in order to let go, repair, fix, and mend. Strong-arming tactics without a leg to stand on, the King of Cups reversed, manipulative, under the radar, unable to conceive of the truth, or an open crown, with a third party hostage situation. Undercover without options, the King of Wands and Queen of Wands, which can be a couple, or it can be brother and sister. Dumped on, purging, crying, peeing, or vomiting, pushed to their emotional limits in a deception. Leo, Gemini, Virgo here, and perhaps Aries at 11:57, which is justice for the 3 of Swords, the three-way heartbreak and separation. The 10 of Cups upright, emotional fulfillment, or it's the sham fam with the Queen of Wands and King of Wands couple or siblings, and the Knight of Swords reversed and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. So all 4 are reversed. So they're either just very unhappy people or very negative people dealing with verbal abuse and stubbornness, refusing offers or reneging on an offer. And then reneging was bringing up Renee Zellweger, and then taking back a proposal. Just like, I wasn't thinking of that before, but just like Jerry did before, like he offered to get married and then he basically took it back. The King of Swords holding back money and or new life, saving or withholding money, time, and energy for the Queen of Swords, who is speaking her truth. An exit strategy, and that's Jerry Maguire again. An exit strategy with the Strength or fire sign, incomplete, happy alone, the Emperor reversed on bed rest or time out, meditating and challenged by no peace. And that was at 12:04, the train was blowing, the horn was blowing at 12:04, which is the Hangman and the Emperor. So the Emperor reversed on bed rest or time out, meditating, challenged by no peace, with energy exchange coming through, back and forth, and expressing feelings. Fast-paced communication or travel or a debate, a speech, overworking it, and it's not working, or the King of Swords, stone cold Steve Austin, and the indigo reversed under the radar, with the 10 of Cups sham fam, the Knight of Swords reversed, and the Knight of Pentacles reversed. Implementing a plan or the Divine Feminine's heart open to the Emperor reversed and disconnect, strong in meditation and rest, with the King of Swords challenged by no peaceful place to be. His world upside down, incomplete, but almost done the cycle, a lot of back and forth, arrows of love, getting his wish, and done with what's not working, with an insecure child indigo manipulator, under the radar, and 10 of Cups, cover-up, of verbal abuse and refusing to move or work. The King of Swords preparing for a new life, while the Queen of Swords speaks about it. All right, so that was a very definitive read. All right, it was just 40. Oh, it was 50. We just had the 10 of Cups moment there. So I'm going to pull you just a few. This is the base cards for this read, in case you didn't catch it on the tag. All right, so this is your read that's in front of you. And I'm going to pull you just a few cards. I'll pull this. This is I made up a little deck that's just characters, right? So it's not a full deck. It's just the court cards and a few others. So let's see, for the masculine, who comes up as the masculine for you guys? Take a deep breath. Who comes up as the divine masculine here? Excuse me. Here we have the King of Cups is coming up again. All right, so that came up for me before. And so who is the divine feminine in this read? If she is, who is the divine feminine if she's represented here in this read? Who is the divine feminine if represented in this read? Oops. Well, it was weird because let's see what this came up. So the Knight of Wands flipped out, but I was left holding the King of Wands. And then the next card is the Queen of Swords. So it's like these two are dueling over whether she's going to be present in this read or not, but she was coming up as the Queen of Swords. All right, and this can represent Batman and Robin, so this can represent the masculine with his partner, right? Partners in crime. And then here's the divine feminine. And who represents, if the divine masculine has a karmic partner, who is his partner represented by? We have two men coming up, so it could be their business partner, or it could be a same-sex partner, or it could be a feminine who wears the pants in the relationship. So again, it's coming up right next to these two again. So if this is coming up as the masculine, this definitely, they could definitely be brothers or father and son energies. And this could actually be the father with two sons. So this could be a masculine and their brother and their father, because it could be with father issues. So they can, do you see how they can have double meanings? But this can also be, since he came up as a masculine, this could be a brother or a partner, or friend. Okay. All right, let's give you some oracle cards before I can't. Let me give you a Scooby-Doo first today. All right, let's see what Scooby-Doo has for you. At 5252, which is the Queen of Swords. Scooby-Doo, what do you want to tell us, Scooby? All right, Scooby-Dooby-Doo, where are you? All right. What is the message for everyone today? For the best and highest good of all is concerned, what do we need to know? What do we need to learn? Let's clear all negative energies across all dimensions of time, space, matter, and realities for the highest good of all this concern, and fill that empty space with only beautiful divine love and diamond crystalline light. And so it is. Thank you, thank you, thank you. All right, there's your Scooby today. Oh, it's a good one. He's doing a happy dance, and it's a king. And then he's overdoing it a little bit. He feels a little dizzy. How cute. And after he overdoes it and gets a little dizzy, he falls down. Because this is the same card as this one. So here's your reflection, and here's the person running interference. All right, number 4. The Emperor's running interference. All right, that's Scooby-Doo. Scooby's been very helpful. Then we have... I'm going to give you this first today, the Kipper deck. Let's see what comes up. I'm not going to do all of them today, because I'm feeling I'm getting a little drained now. So what is the message from this read? What do we need to know? This wants to come up. There's the man with the thoughts of the woman. All right? Of high honor and respect. for someone who's worked very hard, okay? Who may be waiting in expectation, okay? So there's the path, all right? After the end, case closed. Look at all the emptiness there. It's like the feminine being clearing out her life. And here she is. Number 28 is the twin flame. Then we have, let's see here. This is the Metatron deck. Metatron. And I was just getting nervous as I was talking to Metatron. So that definitely has to do with the masculines. All right, Metatron, what is our message for this read? What do we need to know? What was the point? What do we need to know from this read? Well, there is the beacon for the feminines to shine on and shine their light, to keep, you know, being that guiding post in the storm, to never waver. 44 is the grounding and integrating and mastering of love, to allow the love to come to you. This is to the feminine, to shine on and be the beacon. I mean, it's for both of you, but within the relationship, it has to do with the feminine. The dragon strength is the fire, 19, which is the sun. And there's that pyramid. It also looks like a kite, so it's kite energy. Now I'm getting kite in reference to the harp energy, you know, regarding Irish. So kite also can be a negative term. And then dragon strength. You see the very different energies between the masculine and the feminine. The masculine needs to have the strength of the dragon with the sun. And then we have this as well with the Kundalini, untapped energy. All right, so really tapping into your Kundalini, 35, which is the Wounded Warrior, the Mary Magdalene energy, right, which starts off your dark night and your spiral downward in order to rebuild. And one more card, two more cards want to come out. So go with the flow, paddle on, so keep going. Persistence, which is one of the cards today. 42 is the Two of Cups, don't give up on your partner. Remember, when you go out on your school trips, you always get a partner, so that there's always someone to keep track of you and you don't get lost. Okay, that's the energy that's coming up. The orange, connection and attunement. Reach up. I was just doing this as I opened my door today because my shoulder's still, I don't have full range in my shoulder yet. So I'm still stretching up because my shoulder's still stuck right there. Connection and attunement. So maybe do some stretches. Really stretch out your body. Release some stagnant energy in your muscles. 24 is the Queen of Wands, which can be very active and energetic, workout type energy. So that's what it's calling for. And then, of course, joy and happiness comes out after that. They're going to keep going. And I have to say the new dawn because that came out in the read, right? So breaking dawn came out. Welcome back, it says. So joy and welcome back. This is really cool because bringing out the whole process. The underlying energy is the diamond, purity and innocence, and the white of the 51, the King of Swords, right? The King of Swords, the angel, and the diamond in the rough is now polished. Okay, he's gotten his wings. Well, that's a beautiful message. All right, so just to reiterate, the feminine continuing to be the beacon of light for the masculine going through this very strong fire energy of the sun. All right, tapping into untapped energy still, any stagnant energies within your body, and the Kundalini with the Wounded Warrior, right, because that's the dark night energy. And then to go with the flow and just keep paddling on, don't give up. With the Two of Cups, don't leave your partner behind. And then the 24, work out and stretch your psychic energies too. Stretch your knowing and your connection. And then find the joy and the happiness in the simple things, in the beautiful green and yellowish lights with a little bit of orange, just a little bit of sacral, but mostly heart and solar plexus here. As the spring comes in and the bee pollinates, it's time to pollinate, guys. Joy and happiness. It's a new dawn and welcome back. That's like a whole story. The 10 is, this is the magician, the bee pollinating, and then the 10 of the Wheel of Fortune. Welcome back. Well, that was a nice story. So I'm just going to give you one from the animal deck, and then I'm going to go. This is the Animal Tarot. You know, I have to give you one from the energy deck. That's always a good summary deck. deck. All right, here we go. The Four of Winter. Oh, the koala bear, all cozy and warm. Thoroughly think things through before making a decision. Continuing to overanalyze isn't going to get you closer to a resolution, but meditation and prayer will bring the answers you seek. There's two more that want to come out as we break the hour, breaking dawn. Life experience is number 16, the Tower. The cuckoo or cuckoo, it's cuckoo. Important changes are coming into your life that will require you to take action. Don't hesitate to move in new directions you know are right for you. And there's all the butterflies guiding the bird in the right direction, because they've already been at it a while. So they're kind of giving you a head start. And then the Nine of Autumn comes up, the ragdoll cat. Hold on 1 second. Just so you can see a little better. Okay. So that one wanted to come out too. But you have the ragdoll cat here. Your success has brought you financial security and the reward of much deserved time off to enjoy your own company. You may suddenly have a brilliant idea for a business or self-employment opportunity that will be very successful. So they're all very calm. You see this? They're still he's taking a nap. The bird's on the post. He's not flying. And so is the butterfly. They're just taking a time out. Cat is 2. And then here we have the Three of Autumn, first prize. Miniature poodle. Your most satisfying and profitable career comes from following your passions, listening to your heart, and doing what brings you joy. Your life purpose is best fulfilled by allowing your talents and true self to shine forth out to the world. Okay, so just go with what just resonates with your heart. The underlying energy here is the Ten of Winter. There he is. He's leading his own way. He doesn't have an owner, right? He has his own fire hydrant to pee on, and he's got his own leash to drag himself. Siberian Husky Dog. The end of the career path, project, or relationship brings feelings of mixed joy and sadness, relief and disappointment. Put aside your fears about these things and trust that a brighter future awaits, that you will be guided. Just follow when you're guided to. All right. All right, and just a quick energy card, and then we'll be done. Here we go, last card. All right, contract. And it's the Six of the Lovers. There's also a lot of justice energy here, blind justice and contract. Make sure you understand that it feels good. You know, read your contract. This may not be a written contract. This may just be your contract. And you see how the colors are very similar here. Healer of the Ages. And this submission comes up here too, to submit to the love. The Lovers in the 51 of the King of Swords. Healer of the Ages. And having to do with the contract, it's just knowing you're knowing, right? That you don't have to believe or disbelieve or read something, because you should be into your intuitive abilities enough to understand what is a balanced contract between you and your other. The bottom of the deck here is 6th chakra, so your third eye, again, using your intuition, Archangel Metatron, which is 40, which is the Page of Cups. So the Page of Cups, the innocent love, and the Healer of the Ages, the King of Swords, and then the 6 of the Lovers. So to allow all of those energies to be at play. The innocence, the wisdom, and the healer. Okay, they're all very pure energies. All right, so to purify all your energy, the healer has a lot of gold coming out, allowing the Christ light to come out and shine. So it's coming up as the angelic energies are more white light, as opposed to the Christ light is more yellow. And, you know, the normal human light you don't see. And I brought that up as far as magnitude. I did a little technical drawing of that too. I'll have to bring that up again. All right, I want to show you the cards from the read. There's the Seven of Crystals is the underlying energy there. The recent past is reason, the Emperor. The foundation is the Strength card, which is a tiger in this deck. So for me, it's not just Leo. Four of Swords or Orbs was the center card. And then the challenge was the Six of Swords reversed. The underlying energy is over here. And the crowning card was the King of Swords upright today. King and Queen of Swords were both upright. And then traveling along the bridge here to the Eight of Flames, which was upright, expressing a lot of feelings and energy. And then the masculine seeing himself as Ascension, or the world reversed. Around him, or how he's seen, the Nine of Chalices, which was upright. The blocks had to do with the Eight of Crystals, which has to do with the workplace and the work that we do. And then we end up with the indigo reversed. And you see and we have the green and the yellow again, which is the heart and the solar plexus again. So there's very much about those energies today. The indigo reversed, having needing that heart-based conference was coming up, but confidence was what I meant to say. So both of those apply. And then we have the third eye with teaching and learning. And then the Six of Wands is reversed in this read. It was above there. And then the Ten of Cups, which was upright. And then the two Knights were both reversed, the Knight of Swords and the Knight of Pentacles. And then we end up with the King and Queen of Swords there, with the Ace of Pentacles reversed. And then the underlying energy is off there to the side, you see. Okay. So drink your water, get your rest. Get your nature, get your joy. Rise and be loved, guys. Rise and be loved. Take a deep breath.